Kalala Yahweh, or Yahweh Shai, Basham Vakakadash, the witness of the apostles. Salute to you brothers teaching the word in sincerity and in truth. This one's gonna be quick. As you can clearly see on the screen, yeah, you've got a so-called you got a person from the medieval period, the Dark Ages. You can clearly see the nose is chipped and the lips are thick. There's a so-called black woman, right? I've done a video on this before. I did a video called The Tombs of England where I was going through a whole bunch of different tomb carvings in England. So I can't remember who the name of this is because I haven't. Over the years you lose. I've kept the files, but you lose files, you lose stuff, and laptops break down and all that. Phones or whatever. Files are all over the place. A lot of files are lost. But I've got some of them. I can find out the name. I just have to, go and extract some the files off one of the old laptops, take the hard drive out. You can do that. You can get the hard drive because I got the laptops. But anyway, and then you look at this image. These are in cathedrals and things of that nature in England. Now, when you look at this image, I don't think you can zoom in. I want to zoom in, but you can clearly see that. So I don't know if it was Sir Neville, but there's a few of them. There's quite a lot of these, and I don't know if it was Anne and Neville. I could just be going off others that I've seen. I really can't remember, but you can clearly see the so-called. You can see the Israelites. Okay, because Israelites ruled in the medieval period, and this is how we know. Through the facts, through the finds. All right, something that people just don't want us to have. They're mad that we got this because they can't do this. So this is Romans 8:16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High, Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai. Now we was going into it at the camp. I'd done a special where we just rolled up with, there's history. So there was a knight statue of knights, and it was actually a life-size statue with the so men were bigger. I think it was a life-size statue, and but the armor was supposed to be, and he said it was heavy and all of that. So we did like a special show there, going into the history of England. Now, we jump around topics, man. We jump into end times, which is our main focus. We go into history, the book of Daniel, and different things. Because the scriptures what seek ye out the book of the Lord and read, and the whole book. You gotta rightly divide that word of truth, and this is prophecy anyway. You read Revelations 22:20, and you find out that the rulership we're in now is that the little season, because the pagan Roman Empire was brought down, and Israelites were ruling for 1,000 years. That's why they were dressing like this and had kings and translating the Bible and all this stuff, which they were going off. They went off. But it is a different people and a different system. You got to understand that, man. With people come systems. And you know what? Scholars that are aware of this sort of stuff. But this is like higher knowledge that you got to break down to people. We all had it broken down to us. We got to break it down because you just won't know this, because this world's all about folly. Let me get that. So in order to control people, you control what they're consuming. Why do you think they didn't want... Why do you think in a hardcore transatlantic slavery they never had tribes reading the scriptures? It's Ecclesiastes I think 10-3, man. I just can't seem to get things off there. 10-6. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place. So folly is set in great dignity. Now it says, I've seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. And we all know what that means. The servants upon the horses is these Edomites. You know the peoples. Let me type in Edomites. Let me see what comes up. Okay. Edomites. Okay. Now they didn't rule in the Middle Ages, man. Okay. These Edomites. So anyway, what I'm gonna do is let me go back here. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. And right now, you so-called Negroes, West Indians, Puerto Ricans, Native Americans, you're in that servitude. You're in slavery. All right. Now, you got images of medieval art and architecture, Britain, Wales, but this is in Wales, right? St. Mary's Priory Church, and like I said, a lot of these statues are in the middle of nowhere, man. Now, because there's so much iconoclasm, sometimes you got to go to the coins. Sometimes you got to go to the stone carvings, and there's a lot of these where knights and their ladies were buried up in these monasteries in England. And like I said, these, and they would carve like, that looks like, look, that's Jake's at the bottom of there. But they all got afros, man. They all got afros. You know what they are, priests or whatever. Okay. This is Tomb of Thomas, died 1446, father of the Pembroke line. Okay. So there you have that. But because, like I was saying, because there was so much iconoclasm, pretty much everybody just believes the Messiah is an Edomite. They don't know we're dealing with someone that claims to be everybody on the planet in the movies. And that's what they do. You can't turn around and say, oh, well, yeah, but the olive skins, and we know that. No, that's not what he's showing. He ain't even showing. And olives are black and green, but he's not even showing what the hell you're talking about. So you're just making things up. Just because Arabs are in the Middle East today doesn't mean that Israelites weren't there. Because people migrate, man. The scriptures said that we'll be scattered. So what don't you get about that? I can't, 1 second. I don't know what's going on today. Things are not. I brought this one out. The heathen sought to paint the likeness, and I'm almost sure that. Okay, anyway, and First Maccabees 3:48, and open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. So through the Spirit, I'm just getting together icons in history and just bringing it out right quick, because there's so much of this stuff that I decided I was doing a series on it, but what I'm doing right now is just highlighting specific icons and just rolling like that instead of the longer ones, unless there's a long lesson to do on it, you know. But this is just more proof that we ruled Europe. And it wasn't just England, it was France, Scotland Island, uh, Germany, Spain, you know what I'm saying? You know, Russia, everywhere, you know. So um this and Russia, they preserve them icons, man. There's a lot of icons up there. And over here in England, they're hidden and they're more defaced, and or a lot of the paintings of the kings don't exist. It's been all painted over, and they got the new ones. But that's because um and like I said, these types of, I'm gonna do one. What I'll do, Lord willing, is the next one I'll pull out. I'll put the location of it in there, just to show you where these things are at, man. And we've done it. We've been to these towns, and when you go to certain towns in England, the whole town will stop. As a Jake, you know what that's like. You go in a neighborhood and you ain't welcome there. Um, but over here you got those real eclectic. What could I call them? Them creepy Edomites, man. These little villages. These, you know what I'm saying. But so that's where these things are hidden at. All right. But I'll find the name. When I find the name, I'll probably do another video on it. I'll put it in the description. And with that, it's on to the next one.